Okay. Now today in class we worked on using the median to find the upper and the lower quartiles and the interquartile range. And together those are known as the measures of variability. We started statistics with the measures of center, the mean, median, and mode. The measures of variability describe how spread out your data is, how spread out the information is. So using the quartiles and the interquartile range, we're going to make a graph called a box and whisker plot, or just a box plot. And it has a funny name, but in a way, it's fairly simple. It has 5 pieces of information on it. It has the median, which is in the middle, as it usually is. It has the lower quartile, or quartile 1, the upper quartile, or quartile 3. That's the box part of it. And then it has the smallest number and the biggest number, right? The largest and the smallest, together known as the box and whisker plot. All right, so there's some good examples on page 757, and we will do these in class as a do now on Thursday. So it'll obviously be a lot easier if you write it down now, and I'll see as soon as you come in that it's done. Although if you'd rather just watch and wait, that's fine too. All right, so number 1, it gives you a bunch of numbers. They're not in order. First step, put them in order. And to use a little technology, I'll pause it while I do that because I think you know how to put the numbers in order. The truth is, I'm not good at that. It took me probably a lot longer than it should, but I always make the little charts so I know that I don't leave any numbers out. And then I also know I didn't add any numbers by accident. All right, so now that they're in order, I can work with them. And notice this little hand thing. The middle finger, oddly enough, will be the median. Quartile 1 and quartile 3. And then, of course, the smallest number and the biggest number, or the largest number and the smallest number. All right, so box and whisker plot has 5 pieces of information on it. So you can see that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 numbers. So that means there are 5 on this side, and 5 on this side, and 1 number in the middle. So there's our median. All right, so that's going to be our first point on the box and whisker plot. So I put a dot over 88, which would be, a little bit closer to 90, but in between 85 and 90. Now I need to find quartile 1, that's the middle of the lower half. There's quartile 1, and quartile 3, the middle or median of the upper half. So now I've got all my information. So I put another dot for quartile 3 at 97, a little bit past 95. I put another dot at quartile 161, close to 60. Now there's my box. All right, there's my box, a line for the median. Now I need my whiskers. I need a dot at 35 because that's my smallest number. And I need a dot at 100 because that's my biggest number. And done. There's my box and whisker plot. Pretty straightforward. And again, just by looking at that plot, I can see what the median is, quartile 3, quartile 1, and the biggest and smallest number. No outliers on this one. I believe the next one does have one. All right, let me pause it again. I'll put them in order. All right, just to make sure I didn't leave any out, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I think I got them all. So now that they're in order, I see it's 10 numbers. That means there's going to be 2 in the middle. In this case, 105 and 122. And I can tell because there's 4 on that side and 4 on this side. So when you have 2 in the middle, the median can only be one number. You need to find the mean of those two numbers. So 122 plus 105 is 227. 227 divided by 2, 1, let's see, 2 times 3 is 6 with 1 left over, 113.5. So there's my median. My median is right in between these two numbers. All right, there's my median. So I'll make my first dot, 113. Well, let's see. This goes by tens, right? 50, 60, 70, 80. So 110, 120. So 113 is pretty close to 110, right? Closer to 110 than 120, a little bit. All right, now I need my quartiles. Now, since the 105 is less than the median, I include that in the lower half. And since the 122 is higher than the median, I include that in the upper half. So now that means I have 5 numbers in my lower half and 5 in the upper. So quartile 1 is 95. Quartile 3 is 162. Makes it a little bit easier. So I got a bottom. 162 would be just a little bit past the 160. And 95 would be in between 90 and 100, about right there. So now I can make my box. Try to be as exact as possible. All right, and there are my median and my 2 quartiles. Now I need my whiskers. 55, right in between 50 and 60, maybe a little further left. And 174, which is pretty much the end of the scale, right? Now, somebody might say, well, maybe that 55 is an outlier. And it may well be, and we could use the formula to find out. But if it was an outlier, you could stop your data at the next value, which is 85, which would be right here. And then the outlier would get its own dot that wasn't connected, which is kind of interesting, right? Because it's saying that number maybe is going to throw off all the results. The outliers are kind of an interesting thing in statistics. All right. One more question. Now the other way around, number 4, still on page 757. Notice they want the median and the measures of variability. That's the 5 things again, right? Quartile 1, median, quartile 3, the biggest number, and the smallest number. All right, those are the measures of variability. So median is the middle of the box, right? So that's in between 50 and 100, 75, or close to it, right? It's hard to be exact, but it looks like it's in the middle. Quartile 1 is the first dot, so that's 50. Quartile 3 is the third dot, the right side of the box, in between 100 and 150, but a little bit closer to 150. So instead of 125, I'm going to say 130 about. The smallest number, the low value, is 25. And the high value is 190, maybe. It doesn't be as exact as possible. Notice this star. You know what that is. It's an outlier, right? So there is one outlier. One serving had 425 calories, right? Probably something with a lot of sugar. Maybe watermelon, I don't know. All right. Anyway, that's the box and whisker plot. Thanks for watching, and we'll do more in class tomorrow. So if you have these written down, great. If not, this will be the do now tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.